Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, The Glories of Devotional Service. Text number 2. Nahi asya varshmana pumsam varimna sarva yoginam vishrutau shruta devasya bhuri trupyanti me savaha. Translation, purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Shaunaka continued, there is no one who knows more than the Lord Himself. No one is more worshipable or more mature a yogi than He. He is therefore the master of the Vedas, and to hear about Him always is the actual pleasure of the senses. Purport. Teachings of Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti, verse 2. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that no one can be equal to or greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed in the Vedas also. Eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. He is a supreme living entity and is supplying the necessities of all other living entities. Thus, all other living entities, both Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva, are subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. The same concept is confirmed here. Nahi asya varshmana pumsam. Amongst the living entities, no one can surpass the Supreme Person because no one is richer, more famous, stronger, more beautiful, wiser, or more renounced than He. These qualifications make Him the Supreme Godhead, the cause of all causes. Yogis are very proud of performing wonderful feats, but no one can compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone who is associated with the Supreme Lord is accepted as a first-class yogi. Devotees may not be as powerful as the Supreme Lord, but by constant association with the Lord, they become as good as the Lord Himself. Sometimes the devotees act more powerfully than the Lord. Of course, that is the Lord's concession. Also used here is the word varimnaha, meaning the most worshipful of all yogis. To hear from Krishna is the real pleasure of the senses. Therefore, He is known as Govinda, for by His words, by His teachings, by His instruction, by everything connected with Him, He enlivens the senses. Whatever He instructs is from the transcendental platform, and His instructions, being absolute, are non-different from Him. Hearing from Krishna or His expansion or plenary expansion like Kapila is very pleasing to the senses. Bhagavad Gita can be read or heard many times, but because it gives great pleasure, the more one reads Bhagavad Gita, the more he gets the appetite to read and understand it. And each time he gets new enlightenment. That is the nature of the transcendental message. Similarly, we find the transcendental happiness in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The more we hear and chant the glories of the Lord, the more we become happy. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 25th Chapter, Text number 2, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on November 2nd, 1974, in Bombay, India.
Nahi asab basmana pungsang barimna sarvajogina vishito sutadevasya bhuri tilpanti me asava. So, we have been discussing about the incarnation of Kapil Dev, Devahuti Putra Kapil Dev, the propounder of Sankhya Yoga. So in the previous verse, he has been explained as Bhagavan Atmamaya. Bhagavan, Bhaga means opulence. And Ban means one who possesses. Bhagavatsal. In Sanskrit, when the meaning is one possesses, then these pratyayas are used. Bhat pratyaya, mat pratyaya. So, the real word is Bhagavat Sabda and the first word is Bhagavan. So, Bhaga means opulence. So, all the opulences are there in Bhagavan. It is said in the Vedas, Nitya Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko jo bahunam vidadati kaman. What is that? Bhagavan's opulences. This is Eko jo bahunam vidadati kaman. Bhagavan, singular number. And Nitya, Nityanam, and Nityanam, plural number. So these jivas, we are plural number. Jiva bhaga savijñaya sa anantaya kalpate. How many jivas are there? There is no limit. Nobody can count. Ananta. Ananta means you cannot get the limit. There are so many millions or so many thousands. No, you cannot count. So all these jivas, we, living entities, we are being maintained by that one. This is Vedic information. Eko jo bahunam vidudati kama. Just like we maintain our family. One man is earning and he is maintaining his family, wife, children, servants, dependents, workers, so many. Similarly, that one, Bhagavan, is maintaining all the living entities. You do not know how many there are. In Africa there are millions of elephants. They are also eating 40 kg at one time. So that they are also being maintained. And the small ant, that is also being maintained. There are 8,400,000 forms of different bodies. Who is maintaining them? Maintaining Bhagavan, that Eka. Eka jo bahunam vidudhatikam. This is a fact. So why he will not maintain us? Especially those who are devotees. Who have taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, leaving aside everything, simply for his service. Just like in our Krishna consciousness movement, we have got more than 100 centers, and one center we are just reading from the statement of Navabharat Times, how they are well managed, but we have no business. We have no source of income. That is the only source of income, Krishna's shelter. Samasita ji padapallabam prabhu. Therefore Shastra says that you take shelter of Krishna. Krishna comes also to say the same truth. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja. He never says that you do this and do that, then I shall give you for your maintenance. No. Aham tva sarva papi bhavokkhosya. Not only I shall give maintenance, but I shall protect you from the resultant action of sinful life. So much assurance is there. So, Shastra also says, Tasyaiva hetu prajateta kovida nalabhate jad bhramatam uparajada. Tasyaiva heta prajateta kovida. Kovida means intelligent, very intelligent person. So what should he try for? Tasyaiva hetu, to get shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Human life should only endeavor how to get in touch of the lotus feet of Krishna. That should be the only one business. Tasyaiva heta prajateta kovida nalabhate jad brahmatam uparajadha. Let them sit down. Uparajadha. Upari adha. Upari means higher planetary system. There are 7 planetary systems. This is in the middle. We are in the bhulo. Those who are chanting Gayatri Mantra, Om Bhur Bhuva Sat Tat Savitu Varannam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai. So, there are 14 planetary systems within one universe. So, we living entities, we are wandering in different types of forms of body and in different planets. That we are, according to our karma, sometime down, sometime up. In this way we are wandering. That Shastra says, you are wandering in this way. Your business is how to become materially happy, how to satisfy your senses. But don't do that. Don't do that. Then what shall I do? Tasyaiva hetu. How to understand Krishna? For that purpose you should endeavor. Then how shall I eat? No. That eating and sleeping, the business of the body, that is already arranged. That is already arranged. You don't have to work for it. Kalena sarvatra gavirarang tallabhati dukkha badannatas sukham. Our endeavor is to achieve happiness. That is our struggle for existence. Shastra says, tallabhati dukkhavat. Dukkhavat means just like we don't want anything unhappy or miserable condition of life. But you get it. You don't endeavor it for it. Nobody says, let there be fire in my house, let my child die. Nobody aspires these things. Everyone thinks that my child may live, there may not be any danger, I get so much money. Nobody thinks of the opposite, but the opposite number comes. The catastrophes come. You don't pray for it, you don't go to the temple for praying, my Lord, let there be fire in my house. Nobody goes. He goes for something better. The Shastra says that which you do not pray for, still it comes. Dukkhavat, without your invitation. Similarly, whatever happiness you will have to enjoy, that will also come. Tallabhate dukkha vadannata sukham. Therefore, the conclusion is that don't try for your so-called happiness or so-called distress. Try to achieve that position where you can understand Krishna and get shelter at his lotus feet. This is human endeavor. Tasyaiva heta prajateta kovida nalabhate jad brahmatam uparajata. Upari adha. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Rupa Goswami, এই রূপে ব্রহ্মাণ্ড ভ্রমিতে কোন ভাগ্যবান জীব গুরু কৃষ্ণ কৃপায় পায় ভক্তিলতা বীজ। we are wandering in this way, up and down. Brahmanda bhumite. Brahmanda bhumite kono bhagyavanchi. If one is fortunate, he can get the information of devotional service to Krishna. He gets this information. So, this assembly, this Krishna consciousness movement is an attempt to make people fortunate, from the unfortunate position to become fortunate. Everyone is unfortunate, at least in this age. Manda sumanda mandayo, sumanda matayo, manda bhagya. Now see, everyone, everywhere, there is simply problem. There is simply problem. One problem in one country, another problem in another country. There is strike, there is government, there is even the president, and he is also has to meet so many problems. At the end he has to be dragged down. Now he is going to die in the hospital. What to speak of others? The problem. Only for. Therefore everyone is unfortunate. This is the conclusion. You may think that I am very fortunate. President Nixon was thinking, I am very fortunate. I have become the President of United States. But now he is realizing I am the most unfortunate. This is for everyone. Don't think that only the culprit is President Nixon and I am very safe. That there is a Bengali proverb, Ghute pore gobor hase. Gobor means cow dung and ghute means what is called in English, the dry cow dung. The dry cow dung is used for fuel. So when the dry cow dung is being burned into the oven, the soft cow dung is laughing, oh, you are being burned, I am in safe side. He does not know that when he will be dry, he will be put into the fire. So we are laughing that President Nixon is in trouble. I am very safe. I have got so much bank balance. No, nobody is safe. They, as like the same, cow dung soft. When it will be dried out, it will be put into the fire. And that dryness will come to everyone. That is a fact. What is that? Death. You may be saved at the present for a few years, but you cannot avoid death, as sure as death. And what is the result of death? The same. As the president is taken out from his position, everything, all honor, all money, all even life. Similarly, at the time of death, Krishna says, Mrityu sarva harascha aham. I come as death and plunder everything, whatever you have got. Your bank balance, your skyscraper building, your nice wife, your children, you have to give up. You cannot say, my dear death, kindly give me some time, let me adjust. No adjustment immediately. Get out. So, foolish people, they do not know what is the miserable condition of this material life. Therefore, Krishna says, real knowledge is janma mrityu jara vyadhi, to know that however great I may be, these four principles of miserable condition of life, there are. It is existing in the Brahma Loka, in the Patal Loka, everywhere. Sarvat. Gavira ranghasa. Jalla tallabhati dukkha vadannata sukham kalena sarvatra gavira ranghasa. In the due course of time. This is the most wonderful thing. That was questioned by Dharmaraj to Maharaj Yudhishthira. What is the most wonderful thing in this world? He said, ahani ahani gachanti jamamandiram. Every moment so many people are dying. Shesha sthitam icchanti kimascharjam matapparam. But those who are living, he thinks that my friend has died, but I will live forever. No, the same thing. The soft cow dung will be dried up at the same condition. So, Bhagavan is not like that person. Therefore it is said, Bhagavan Atmamaya. When Bhagavan, we come here to stay for some days, say 50 years or 100 years, enjoy or suffer life. But Bhagavan does not come for that purpose. Namang karmani limpanti. That is stated in the previous verse. And the second verse, it is further. Nahi jassa barmana. Nobody is greater than him. Bhagavan means, the person, nobody is greater than him. And nobody is equal to him. That is Bhagavan. Everyone is lower. The Chaitanya Charitamritakar says, Ekola Ishar Krishna Arshabhrita. Arshabhrita. Only one master is Krishna. And others, beginning from Brahma, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, Indra, Chandra, all these demigods, there are hundreds and thousands, 33 million demigods. And then these Naraloka, there are so many rich men, Rockefeller, Ford, Birla and others. They are all bhrittas, all servants. When Krishna will order, my dear Mr. Such and such, now give up your place, go away. Finish. So therefore they are all servants. This is the position beginning from Brahma down to the end. Justindra gopa mathavendra maho sakarma bandhanurupa phalabhajanvatanati karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhaja govindamadi purisam tamaham bhajan. Everyone is enjoying or suffering the sequence of his karma. Just to gopa, Indra Gop, a small insect, its name is Indra Gop, beginning from this Indra up to that Indra, the king of heaven. Everyone is enjoying and suffering about his karma. Justindra Gopa Mathavendra Moho Sakarma. Sakarma, one's own activities we are creating. We are creating our next body in this life. As we have got this life as the resultant action of my past karma, similarly I am creating another body after death on account of my present karma. This is going on. So we should work in such a way that we may not get another body next life. That is wanted. That is wanted. And how it can be done? It can be done very easily. What is that? Simply try to understand Krishna. Simply try to understand Krishna. This is the simple method. Janma karma me dibbam jo janati tattata takta deham punar janma naiti mameti. Very simple. And to understand Krishna is very difficult. Yes, it is very difficult. But it is very easy also. How? Now, Krishna says, Bhakta mam abhijanati. If you become devotee of Krishna, then you understand Krishna very easily. Krishna does not say by jnana, by karma, by yoga, you can understand him. No, that is not possible. Naham prakasa sarvasya yoga maya samavrita. It is stated here that Varishna sarva yogina. There are many different varieties of yogi, and he is the greatest yogi. Therefore, he is known as Yogeshwara, Jatta Yogeshwara Hari. See, he is far, far above all yogic processes. The yogis, they can show you some magic. The yogi can walk over the water. There are so many, Anima, Logima, Siddhi. But see, Krishna's yogic mystic power, that big planets, they are floating in the air. Can you do that? Can you float in a small piece of stone floating in the air? That see, therefore it is said here, Varishna sarva yogina. What yogis can, these ordinary yogis can show? Of course, we are foolish person. If some yogi shows some mystic power, a little gold he can manufacture, we accept him as God. But we forget the real yogi who has created millions of gold mines floating in the air. So, we Krishna conscious person, we are not so fool that we shall accept this kind of yogi of Bhagavan. We want the foremost yogi, but Varishna Sarva Yogina, that Krishna, Yogeshwar, we accept him as the Supreme Personality of God. Because why? No, because we are trying to become devotee. And Krishna says, Bhakta mam abhijanati javan jaschami tattata tato mam gyatya tattata. That the verse. So, very simple process. The first thing is, the problem of life is how to conquer over death. We are now accepting death as compulsory. No, death is not compulsory. Just like to be put into the prison house is not compulsory. It is due to my work. Because I have become criminal, therefore I am put into the jail. It is not compulsory that everyone has to go to the jail. That is not. So similarly, we living entities, our proper place is the Vaikuntha Loka. Parastasmatu bhavanna bhaktya bhaktya sanatana jadgatyana nivartante taddhamam paramam mama. Everything is there. You can have eternal blissful life of knowledge, Satchidananda. It is not compulsory that you shall rot in this material world. But if you like, you can go there. The easiest process. Easiest process is Janma karma me dibbam jujanati tattva. You try to understand Krishna, why he comes, what are his activities, where from he comes, why he comes in the form of a human being. You try to understand, study, and Krishna is explaining himself in the Bhagavad Gita. So where is your difficulty? God is personally explaining what he is. If you accept Bhagavad Gita as it is, then after giving up this body, takta deham punarjanma nahi, no more birth and death. You get your spiritual body, Satchidananda Vigraha, and happily live in the family of Krishna, because he is also providing you here and there also he will provide you with very nice preparation, as you have learned from these, what is that, Navbharat times, how our people are eating preparations from milk very nicely. So, back to home, back to Godhead, and eat, drink, and be merry in Krishna's company. That is all. Thank you very much.